Yep. So my name is Robbie. I'm the director and founder of Mission Volant. Volant being French for flight. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's just an excuse to jump out of planes. So no. Okay. But first, it's kind of informal, but clap it up for yourselves for being here. Good job. Thanks for being here. All right. So. Before I really dive into what Mission Volant is and what we do, I want to talk about legacy. You know, a lot of us focus a lot on our jobs, and we toil away at work, and especially in the Marine Corps. I'm active duty Marines, especially in the Marine Corps. I fly on helicopters with the Marine Corps. There's this big tendency to think like what you do at work really matters. And it's true to a degree. You help, you know, enable the mission, complete the mission, and you drive the mission forward. However, it only goes so far. You know, and a lot of people neglect their family life, and they neglect their personal drive forward, and that seems to be a big thing. And we want to kind of solve that problem. So, Mission Volant really helps enable the reality of what we do after our military service as well. So. Legacy is really important because when we leave this world, people are not going to remember like how many hours did he fly on the airplane. They're going to remember, hey, what did the guy or girl accomplish outside of there? What kind of cool stuff did they do? How are they with their family? What did they teach a little boy and girl? And if we're at fucking work all the time, we can't do that, can we? So I think there's a delicate balance to that, and I think there's a lot to be said for what you do outside of your work environment that's really special. So. What is Mission Volant? Mission Volant is a program that inspires, trains, and equips military veterans with an adventurous skill set to use after the military service. Well, that sounds cool, right? But what is it really? We take veterans and we push them outside their boundary. A lot of guys spend a particular long time at work, like we were talking about, and they don't get to do anything else except for go to work and go home, go to work, go home. So what's at the end of the day? You're left with your spouse with an hour, maybe your child with 30 minutes to see your daughter or your son at the end of the day. So we again want to change that reality itself. Sorry, my iPad's going off. Thanks, Aiden. So, sorry, Siri. I don't need you right now. So with that inspiring, training, and equipping. Mission Volant provides the tools for you to do these adventurous skill sets. We show you how to do it, and then we take you out and actually do it. So anyway, I know that all that's sort of ambiguous, but getting down to the nitty-gritty, we offer skydiving services, hiking, climbing, scuba diving, surfing, and paddling. These are all skill sets that are obviously outdoors, but they're all stuff to challenge you in a way that gets you outside your comfort zone. So me particularly, I am a skydive instructor, but I'm deathly afraid of heights. And that's why I started skydiving. But I know I'm not the only one. A majority of guys who come to us, or guys and girls who come to us, are scared of heights as well. But we use that fear to get them outside the plane. We use it to spur them on to do more difficult things. Particularly, we focus on guys with PTSD and with physical limitation injuries, meaning prosthetics. Actually, just 3 days ago, we took a gentleman out of Utah. We traveled to Utah, and we took him. He has no legs, and he has no right side of his hip. And we still were able to teach him the very fundamental basics of skydiving. So for that, obviously, he was very driven to do that, but he was very passionate about learning something else, and that feeds off us. We feed off that as well. So we started as a attempt to break. Mission Volant started as an attempt to break some world records. So I'm a wingsuit pilot. You guys seen the squirrel suits? Those things are hanging out front, out there. I fly those professionally. So about a year and a half ago, I'd say, you know what? I'm going to break some records. So right now the record is like 38,000 feet. I'm going to do it. It's great. And by the way, that's higher than most airlines travel at, if you can picture that. So it's really cold up there. It's negative 60 Celsius. So when you breathe out, the air freezes immediately. You can see it. So if you check out our Vimeo and our YouTube pages, you can just see some video of me, and you see the air coming out and it freezing immediately. So these records I decided to do them because they were challenging. I was like, okay, this is great. The more training I did, I started to discover not only this is hard, but this is really fucking hard. So what? So I need some more training. But the more I dove into it, the more I realized that we can do more good by just me breaking records. I can help other people be inspired to do more difficult things themselves, which is clearly, obviously, more important. So I put my reasoning for these records off to the side, saying, I'll get these records later. Let's use the same theory that I use for breaking these records and use it for the public good. So we decided we made a transformation there and said, okay, we're no longer going to break these records. We're going to drive forward and establish services for people to break their own records in their own difficulties and put their own difficulties ahead of themselves to break them and move forward themselves. How am I doing at time, by the way? How many minutes I got? Yeah, so good. Awesome. Okay, so we decided to move forward and said, okay, I'm going to establish these programs and drive forward and say we're going to offer these services. But the difference between us and most other services, these days there's a tendency to take veterans on. I'm breaking up here. Sorry. There's a tendency to take veterans on outdoor expeditions or hunting trips or let's go drive a race car or something. And don't get me wrong, I think that's fantastic, but it doesn't solve any problems at all. It makes you feel good for 5 seconds and that's it. It doesn't offer you a skill set to use for the rest of your life. So that's what we decided to solve. So say, okay, we're going to offer something that you can use for the rest of your life. We can train you. And the difference between us and most other organizations is not only do we inspire you to do it, you train you to do it, we also give you the tools to do it yourself. I mean, if you want to learn to skydive, you leave us with a skydive rig and a skydive license so you can jump wherever you want. Same thing with surfing, stand-up paddling, climbing, etc. So that's what we do. Separately, these days, there tends to be I'm sorry, this is breaking up here. There tends to be a drive towards feeling sorry for veterans. And if this pisses you off, I'm sorry, but I'm not. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. Thanks. Is this better? Cool. There tends to be a tendency to feel sorry for veterans, like so almost like a Sarah McLachlan SPCA commercial, you know? Like, for only $1 a day, you can sponsor a veteran. And I'm really not down for that, and frankly, it makes me very upset because America's veterans are not only some of the most patriotic people, but we're some of the most well-trained people in the world. We're disciplined, we're punctual, we know what the hell's going on, we know how to do it, and more so, we know how to lead other individuals doing the same thing. So why, when we get out of the military, do we tend to treat veterans like, this guy is so messed up, let's feel sorry for them? And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of veterans who are messed up, not just physically, but mentally and with other things. That doesn't mean we need to feel sorry to a degree. It means we need to support them, okay? So there is a community out there where, you know, there's sort of like, thank you for your service, or, hey, thank you for your service, you know? And you got to choose which side of the line you want to be on. So Mission Milan itself, we draw a firm line in the sand. We don't pity anyone, and it doesn't mean we don't need to care for them. But I think you all understand what I'm saying is that we admire people for their service and their sacrifice, but we also enable them, okay, instead of feel sorry for them. So if that makes you upset, I'm sorry, but it's the truth, okay? So we don't do the Sarah McLachlan thing and sponsor a veteran for a day. So moving on, what we do, I've already told you what we do. How we do it is this: we find veterans or they contact us who want to learn a different skill set. We find out what they're good at. We find out their physical limitation capabilities, if they have any, and then we drive forward from there. So if they want to learn to, let's say, skydive or climb, we take them first to an indoor skydiving wind tunnel, and we spend hours in there. Most of our guys and girls who want to learn to skydive have one leg or no legs or one arm. So we spend hours in the wind tunnel with them, teaching them how to stabilize themselves. And by the way, an hour in the wind tunnel is like $900. So you can see where all of our money goes. It's to training these people how to do these things. So we spend 3 to 4 hours in the wind tunnel with them, learning to get them stable. We get them custom suit made. We get them custom skydive rig made, and then we hit the sky from there. And it's about a 3 to 4 week process to get them from nothing to fully licensed. But then they leave us with with themselves fully equipped and trained and a skydive license, and then go back to wherever they're from, and then they're good. So this year we started about 9 months ago. So far we have achieved I think some radical things. The IRS is brilliant in allowing people to get their 501c3 number, so we're still dealing with that. But internally, we've established 7 programs, and they're fully operational, and you can check that out at missionvermont.org. And we've also shown our capability through 4 different veterans so far, including our one last week who we taught the skydive. So my last thing before I open up for questions from there is how can you help? So really, with almost every nonprofit, financial capability is a huge one, okay? But I'm not here to solicit your money. I'm here to ask you to spread the message. So we do awesome stuff. I like to say awesome shit, but trying to curse so much. But we do awesome stuff. And if you know any veterans who are willing, who want to be involved with that to make their lives better, please spread the message about what we do. And we believe in the long run that the financials will take care of themselves based upon our performance and what we do for veterans. So.